In today's video, we're finally going to settle the debate between soldered lugs and crimped lugs. Because even to this day, some people say that soldering is better, which is crazy. They would prefer this over a crimped connection that is cheaper, easier, and better, and industry standard. So today we're going to test them and see if there's a difference. And this is the test setup. We have a lithium titanate oxide battery. We're going to pass 300 amps between a cable, and we'll use this to measure the voltage drop. And this cable will be our reference. It's a Windy Nation cable and lug, both UL listed, and I crimped them together with this. And the voltage drop for this cable is 18.8 millivolts. The lower the number, the better. Now let's see what the soldered lugs do. So first up is the ugly soldered cable. That looks great. Scotch-Brite does a really good job. 21 millivolts, that's incredible. I did not think it would do that well. That's actually really good. I have a second soldered cable we can test and we can compare the results. This one I didn't get as hot and the wires are all intact. On this one, they actually got destroyed a little bit because it got so freaking hot. You should do this to every connection. This works so well. Also, you should use steel washers, but not stainless steel. They actually cause more resistance in my testing. 17.8? No way. Yeah, we've got exactly 300 amps. How is that so low? That's the new record. I'm actually blown away right now. I don't know what to say. That is crazy. This is not what I was expecting. Now, something I've been saying a lot and why crimping is industry standard is because this is a cold weld. It's one piece of metal. And if you have a fault or a loose connection or overcurrent, this will not come loose. But with solder, once it reaches a high enough temperature, it can come loose. So let's actually test it. Let's make a loose connection and put a washer underneath it and see if it can actually pull out. I'm still amazed that it did so well. That is just wild to me. We're gonna put stainless steel washers on both sides of the lug. 2 on the bottom and 1 on top. And it's super loose, so let's see what happens. The voltage drop is 1.2 volts. And it's above 160 degrees Celsius already. Uh-oh, our load stopped. Oh, look at that, we did it! It pulled out! Can you believe it? That's why we don't use solder. It actually worked. And that's why the load disconnected, because this actually disconnected before I pulled it out. So a voltage drop of 1.2 volts at 300 amps is 360 watts of heat. It heated up incredibly fast. This thing is a brick of solder. I used a ton. Check out the color of this copper. That is wild. Now we're gonna do the same test with a crimped cable. Now this one was made with a burn-D crimper and we have UL listed lugs. Actually, we don't need to do this. It's a high resistance connection. The washers help, but it's not that loose. It's pretty crazy how much heat that generates. Test has now begun. All right, 380 and it's not going any higher. It's been a few minutes and we're still at 270 degrees Celsius. Look at that, is burnt to a crisp. Now think about the thermal expansion of copper to copper. It is the same, so they expand and contract at the same rate. But with solder or aluminum or any other metals, it's going to expand and contract at different rates. And this will break free over time. It gets weaker. It's fine for PCB boards, but not good for large lugs, and that's why this is not industry standard. This is considered a chemical joint or a metallurgic joint. This is a cold weld. It's one chunk of metal. And it's a gas-tight joint. So if you are scared of corrosion, you do a crimp and then you add heat shrink. Some people will say, oh, get the solder out because we're using a marine environment. That is not true. Now, the coolest thing about this test was the voltage drop of the soldered lugs. It was lower than all the other crimped connections I've ever done. So that was very impressive and interesting, but we still don't want to use this. So it is a low resistance joint, but you can't depend on it, especially for a high vibration environment. The solder is very stiff. And these strands of copper are very soft and flexible. So at that boundary where they meet, usually that's a weak spot. So even when you use solder, you have to have strain relief, or else this will break free over time. So I hope you liked the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.